If there was ever a time for me to have an adaptive shoe, it is definitely right now. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Runna, your favorite local running community. I'm Juliana, and this week we have a very special review because I have a new shoe from a brand that we have seen here many times. But before we get into that review, one, please subscribe to the channel so that way you can become part of your favorite local running community every week here on Runna. And two, this shoe was provided to me for the purpose of a review. I did not pay for the shoe, but the brand does not get the rights to tell me what to say. And you are seeing this review first on YouTube before anyone else gets to see it. So these opinions are my own. So I am excited because we have another Cadense adaptive shoe review because they have created a new shoe, which is a slipper, which is very exciting because so far we have reviewed their regular shoe and we have reviewed the sandal that they had that came out over the summer. And just so everyone is aware, we'll go through the technical specs of like what exactly this shoe entails in just a minute. But these are shoes that are specifically designed for people with neurological conditions, foot drop specifically, and also just movement challenges. This is technically counted as a adaptive device, and its purpose is to get people who have challenges with walking up and walking more. So that is the purpose of these shoes. They have made some shoes that I've really enjoyed. I've had some qualms with for sure. I am excited because this shoe I think is the best looking out of all the shoes that they've made so far. And this one is the one I'm the most excited about. But let's open these bad boys up. So these are the Havena slipper and I received them in the chestnut color. They do come in two other colors. I have the chestnut color, which is the darker brown. And then there's a lighter brown color, which name is escaping me. I'll put it up on the screen here. They come in two colors for the ladies and there's two colors for the dudes. And they come in full sizes, and this is the adaptive slipper. So let's open this bad boy up right here. So here's our box from Cadense, ta-da! And we will open it up, and here we go. Each box also does include some safety instructions, but here we go. Okay, so here are the shoes. This is what we're working with right here. I think this is probably their best looking shoe yet. This one is just like, it just looks nice. It looks really comfortable. It looks really cozy. And I think this is like perfect for New England winter right now, especially with all the snow that we've been getting. The key aspects of this shoe and the specs and the things that we want to pay attention to. First off, the shoe is adjustable when it comes to the top here. So we have this nice like Velcro piece right here on the side. This can be opened up. And then you can adjust the width of the shoe, how tight you want it, how tight you don't want it, and just the ease of getting these on and off. So all of their shoes have this, and it makes it a lot more adaptable to different foot shapes and sizes. And as a wide-footed friend, I definitely really appreciate that. You also have some Velcro here on the back, so that way you can adjust how much of the strap you would like to utilize, so you can kind of like teeter in and out. Okay, I want my heel to be more or less secured into the shoe. You can also take off the strap too. So the strap comes off via taking these little doodads off here on the side. So these buttons that are on the side, the straps attached to them, and they come right on off. So you can take the straps on and off, and then you would just undo the part over here and slide it on off. You can take the straps on and off. The most important part of the shoe is the bottom of the shoe though. So there's about 1.5 inches of their foam, and there's two different foams that we have going on here. And if you've seen the Cadense shoes before, you know where I'm going because they all pretty much have the same bottom to them. And they've all just kind of added different tops onto them. I don't really think they've made any changes when it comes to the design of the bottom. It looks exactly the same to me as the other shoes. But what you're going to see here is you have this section of rubber here, which is more of a textured rubber. And then you're going to have these plastic pieces, which they call pucks. And what's going to happen is that there is a softer foam, as you can see, through this part of the shoe. This part of the foam is softer than this part of the foam. And the purpose of that is that when you are walking, you are going to One, hear these pucks click on the ground, hopefully. So that way it gives you a sensory feedback via your ears that your foot is hitting the ground. So they're trying to stimulate multiple different senses. So that way you can have the best walking experience possible. So your foot hits the ground, you hear the clicking of the little pucks right here. What will happen with the pucks is most people who have foot drop, your foot kind of just like stops and you can't really move your foot all the way through. Essentially, instead of your sneaker getting stuck on the ground like this and your foot kind of like dragging along like this, the pucks catch your foot on like a little like ski ramp almost, and your foot slides down. And as you put pressure on the shoe for standing on it, this part of the foam will compress down and this part of the shoe will start touching the ground, and that will grip you onto the ground. So essentially you're sliding through and then gripping with this piece right here once you actually put pressure on the shoe. Essentially creating an experience that where hopefully you are not experiencing a significant amount of drop foot and your foot doesn't get caught and you don't like trip and fall over or anything. I've had problems with these pucks because I find them to be too slippery, and I feel like if there's any kind of wetness or weather, then this kind of makes the pucks almost dangerous, in my opinion. For some people, I know it works really well. For me, I have some like lateral instability. So that means like back and forth, side to side. This does not provide any lateral stability. You have to be standing like directly in the middle of the shoe to really experience like the grippiness. So that way it pushes down and kind of negates that the pucks are here with this grippy part of the sole. I would really love if Cadence would put some kind of like grippy piece on this side, or like texturize this part of it. So that way you slide through here, but if you try to go out to the side, there's some piece of like grippy material or a different like texture of plastic that will stop you from like sliding back and forth, because that's my problem with these shoes. And again, the fact that like if it does get wet, you're kind of screwed. If you're someone who's walked in these shoes before and you have had like a good experience with these in wet conditions, please let me know, because I genuinely have not. I so far have liked the sandals more than the sneakers, just because I feel like the sandals work really well in the sand, which is great. I worry about the lateral stability on these bad boys and them being a little bit too slippity slidey. That being said, I feel like these are a good option for people who have foot drop, and I feel like I really enjoy them a lot. I am going to try these out for the day, and we're going to come back and decide what we think of the shoe, decide if we like it any better, worse, where we're hanging, and where we rank it within the Cadence shoes. And then I'll give you my honest opinion on everything, and you can decide if these shoes are correct for you. Also, just a reminder, these shoes are only sold on the Cadence website, and they do retail for $180, which I know is really expensive, but if you're thinking of it in terms of other shoes that are out there, I mean, there are definitely other shoes that cost just as much. I'm looking at like most of the running shoes that are out there. And if you're someone who's going to use this as like your main shoe, and this is really going to improve your mobility, I think it's probably worth it. We'll come back to that after we're done trying it out for the day. Also a reminder too that this is a HSA, like you can use your HSA account for these as well too. So if you do have a healthcare savings account, you can use it to pay for these. That is definitely a good thing. And they do regularly offer like a 10% discount on their website. And I have an affiliate link too if you want to go and purchase a shoe through there. And I believe you get a discount as well too. I'm only going to give you guys my honest opinion, and we're going to go try these bad boys out for the day. And I'll see you guys soon. Welcome back, my friends. Welcome to the next day. I have been walking and like clip-clapping around in my slippers all day yesterday and this morning, and I have my verdict for you. Positives for our shoes right here, our slippers from Cadence. I think this is a very cozy shoe. I think it does a great job at keeping your feet nice and toasty. I feel like this strap is very easy to use. I was very easily able to like adjust it, slide my foot in, make sure that I'm adjusting this part right here. That worked really great. This bottom part here, maybe I'm just getting used to it and getting more skilled at like navigating with these shoes on, because they definitely have said on their website, like, take your time, practice. Like, this is a skill set using these. But once you get to a spot where you're like good at walking in the shoes, everything kind of like only goes up from there. I feel like I'm getting better at walking in this technology. I feel like it's just a learned skill, honestly. But I just found that for me, it was easier to walk in these shoes than when I had the sandals and also the shoes that I also still have. I still have a problem with the setup of the shoe for me personally. Again, I need some like lateral stability because like I kind of like slide in and out. And these provide absolutely no lateral stability. The only grippage is through the middle here and these parts right here. So if you're someone like myself and you're walking and your feet tend to like slide out, unless you are like firmly planted on the ground, you're kind of out of luck, which I think is really frustrating, but I understand why they're doing it. I actually did speak to the Cadense team and brought up my concerns. The moral of the story is that the majority of the people they are trying to reach, this is the preferred and beneficial setup. And they just can't have a customized shoe for every single person's gait and the way that they walk and their medical conditions, which is totally understandable. I mean, maybe at some point, because this is only the third shoe they've ever put out. So they have the sneaker, the sandal, and now the slipper. They all have the same bottom essentially, but maybe eventually when the company gets a little bit further down the road, there will be different setups for the bottoms of the shoes. So that way, maybe at some point, there will be like a more lateral stability, like formatted shoe. Hopefully. I don't know what their general like prognosis and their path is in the future. Pretty much the verdict from when I talked to them was that it's just hard to make sure that there's the sliding, but also the side support. Also, they're just trying to meet the needs of the customers that they serve the most and they're like most targeted towards. And that's our friends with foot drop. I still have a problem with the lateral stability here. I think it's a great shoe if you are in need of a shoe that prevents foot drop. And you are someone who like when you're walking, you just kind of get stuck here and you do this instead of sliding through. I think this could really benefit you in a lot of big ways and hopefully get you up and moving. My only other issues with these shoes, with the pucks, which are these things on the sides here, is that they are kind of a little bit dangerous if you're on like a really smooth surface or if there's any kind of moisture, which is what I talked about earlier, because I tried these out outside. They do fine on the pavement. Like the pavement is completely fine. I do worry as to how long these pucks last. These are definitely kind of dangerous if you are not paying attention and you are also someone like me who has lateral stability issues and it's either wet or you're on a really like smooth surface. So like think like tiles or you're walking on like some linoleum flooring or something like that. This is where these get a little bit dangerous. And also when you're walking up and down stairs and you are standing up, you have to make sure you are offloading onto your heel first. So that way you have this like non-slippy part on the ground and then you can put your foot on this part. So there is a method and a technique, and the sheet that they send you with the shoes does walk you through this, which I think is great. So they are aware. Again, this is a learned skill set. Learning to use these shoes is also not for everyone. But if you are, again, the person with foot drop, this is a fantastic option for you. These shoes do retail at $180, which I think is a little bit expensive for a slipper. They are able to be refunded by a healthcare savings account. And also, if this is like your main shoe, and you are wearing this like outside, because this is an indoor and outdoor shoe. So if this is like your shoe of choice, or you buy the sneakers, which are a similar price point. One, if you're buying sneakers or if you're buying a shoe like this, you can easily pay over $100 for a clog or a slipper. It's not hard. A pair of Birkenstocks, you know, it's not a challenging thing to do. And when we come to the sneakers, I mean, the closest competitor for the shoe that they make is probably the Hoka Bondi, which I believe retails at $170 or $175 anyway. So they're in the same price range. So if you're going to buy yourself a shoe that you're going to use all the time and it's going to help you become more active, I feel like this is something, if this is the correct shoe for you, that is worth investing in. Because you got to think like, how much are you paying per mile, essentially? How much are you paying per step? Is it worth it if you decide that like, hey, I would like to be more active, how much am I going to pay per step that I'm going to take in this shoe? If you're going to use this shoe all the time and it's going to get you up and moving in a way that you've never been able to get up and moving before, I would say investing in something like this or this shoe exactly, or one of their Cadense shoes is a good idea. If you're like, Juliana, I'm never going to use that shoe, then don't buy it. That's your prerogative. You have to decide what is the appropriate shoe and what is the investment that's going to benefit you the most. That is my review of the Cadense Havena adaptive slipper. I liked it a lot. It still has the same challenges that the other two Cadense shoes had. But again, I feel like if you are someone who suffers from foot drop, then this is definitely a really wonderful option for you. And again, you can use your healthcare savings account to reimburse you for these shoes if that's an option for you. Don't forget to check the link down below. There will be an affiliate link down below if you do choose to buy a pair of shoes. That way the Cadense people know that, hey, you were watching my video and this is how you found out about them. Go ahead and check that out down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so that way you can be part of your favorite local running community every week here on Runna, where we will review all different types of shoes, adaptive shoes and non-adaptive shoes, whatever comes across my desk, We're happy to do it. I will see all of you guys later. Have a great week. I love you all very much, and I'm very proud of you. Okay? Bye. Nom, 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 nom. Thank you for listening to this episode of Runna. This podcast is edited, hosted, and produced by me, Juliana Coughlin. Brought to you in part by the Falmouth Running Club and the Falmouth Community TV station. If you'd like to connect with us, you can find us on Instagram and on TikTok at RunnaPod. And you can send us an email at runnapod@gmail.com. And our original theme music was brought to you by the one and the only wonderful Jeffrey Hutton. And keep up the great work. I'm proud of you.